You woke up this morning after dreaming of your stresses, unable to escape your realities you live with every day. The thought of living your life depresses, but you are not able to say. Your heart is full of one big secret. What your life really means is locked up behind a door. Holding it all in is the most convenient, although sometimes all you want is to let your emotions pour. What people see on the outside seems to be perfection. Masks are easier to put on than reality is to tell. When being authentic, you cope with depression and complexion. If you took off your mask, people would see your living hell. But keep the guise on, no one has to know. It is better for you to fake it, because they wouldn't understand. You don't let any emotions go, so just keep with your fake identity, your conscious commands. Now you easily put on your mask, and every day your life presumes. Because why would anyone ask? All they can do is assume. Author Do Zanomato once powerfully said, "It is easy to judge, it is harder to understand." Good hearts sometimes choose poor methods. Through judging, we separate. Through understanding, we grow. Humans' first instinct in an unknowing situation is to judge. This results in hate, negativity, and hurt. The summer before 8th grade, I had the opportunity to join my church on a mission trip in San Francisco. Leading up to the trip, I was nervous picturing myself, a young girl interacting with hundreds of homeless people. As a subjective human, I selfishly envisioned these people as drug-using, ignorant, dangerous men and women who might attempt to endanger me. Once I arrived in San Francisco, the negative pictures I had drawn in my head disappeared. When I actually sat down and took the time to hear their stories, I was enlightened. Some of the people living on the streets had also helped so much that they could not afford to provide for themselves. Prior to the mission trip, I had selfishly placed myself in a position of higher status than these people. But once I opened my judgmental heart, I began to see people and life with more clarity. The girl you called dramatic because she was crying, what if she lost her mom last night? The boy you called dumb, what if he has learning disabilities? Take a long look in the mirror and imagine the thoughts others have about you when you walk through the halls. Most people hope others in their community form positive opinions about them. Mother Teresa inspires Christians with wise words when she says, "If you judge people, you have no time to love them." Almost every day, people are introduced to one or more new acquaintances. Usually these brief meetings consist of, if more than one glance, a few words of small talk. Many people are reliant on putting on their mask to easily hide every emotion they have experienced from previous encounters of the day. Few people in our world show genuine emotion and display their feelings like an open book. Imagine if we only interacted with people who smiled the first second we saw them. Would you be surrounded by your close friend group? All of your memories, from sunny beach days to insane all-nighters, would those have ever happened? Yes, it is possible, but most of us would have to answer with a harsh no. Instead of looking into someone's story, it is much simpler to look at the superficial. We make assumptions about the jocks and the cheerleaders, the nerds and the geeks, based off of the habits they display. Just like any other situation, we are called to make a crucial decision between two opposing ways of treating others. Unsympathetically, we can continue pursuing our selfish habits. Satan tempts humans to follow cruel thoughts about another person. Instead of forming our own opinions, we allow someone else's criticism to become our own, even though we may have never had a negative experience with them personally. Or, we could take advantage of God's grace and open our minds to the possibilities that a person is not necessarily who we have presumed them to be. We can ask questions, go into each conversation open-minded, and always give people the benefit of the doubt. The two different scenarios can be generally divided into negative and positive, providing the obvious better option of approaching people. To live out this lifestyle, a person begins by listening to others. What prevents us from following these simple instructions to make others feel more welcome, to learn something new, and to promote happiness and comfort in ourselves and another? People should slow down and listen to a story or two. It might cause them to see a new perspective. Matthew 7:1-3 says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be used to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?" Typically, we excuse our own faults while paying more attention to the faults of others. We focus on the slightest flaw of someone else and overlook our own large, obvious sin. Research has shown that when people form first impressions, it is difficult for them to rethink the prejudice they have formed. According to the Association of Physiological Science, any information about a person, from her physical properties to her nonverbal and verbal behaviors, and even the environment she inhabits, influences our impressions and judgments about her. This scientifically proven fact helps supports my idea that as humans, we should all avoid judging people's initial actions and behaviors. Yes, because of original sin, most people struggle to obey this suggestion. As followers of Christ, we are called to put in effort to form numerous loving, realistic, and honest relationships. Each and every day, people see many different types of crowds. Except for when we are in the middle of a global pandemic. Of course, that we do not. God purposely made us so intentionally so we feel different emotions and express feelings in various ways. Therefore, no matter the circumstance, we shall all learn to accept everyone's perceptions and take the time to learn more about people. For many people who have been inaccurately judged in the past, wearing the mask is easier than trying to convince another of their true self. To become a more genuine version of yourself, reveal yourself to others and encourage others to declare their point of view. No damage can be done by discussing others' problems instead of creating your own perceptions on them. We are called to better ourselves as a society and give others the benefit of the doubt, even when it feels wrong and too nice. Let's begin to discourage keeping the guys on because everyone wants to know. It is better to tell it so that we may all understand.